Sounds like he's going first. Players wish each other luck, and they draw their opening hand. Ooh, I don't want to be playing favorites here, but I do love those Red Eyes Black Dragon sleeves that Cameron has on his board. Just pointing that out there.
Okay, Joey, calm down.
No, you're Joey today.
That's true. I am wearing the baby dragon fit. But speaking of dragons here, I think we're about to see some very large, scaly creatures. So we will see the Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji normal summoned here.
I think in response.
Getting access to that Mitsurugi spell cards are definitely something Cam wants to do. And opening with the Mitsurugi cards is usually the thing that the Yummy versions of this deck want to do, so that we have access to the Yummies later on in the turn, while after trying to bait any interruptions from your opponent.
Cam, a soft-spoken duel, so the judge is having him adjust his microphone so he can be heard by all the folks at home. Now, interesting hand you can see there from Timothy, including both Super Polymerization and the Mulcharmy Fuwalo, so lots of ways to draw cards, but even if that gets negated for any reason, a great way to combine your opponent's monsters into a fusion summon of your own. Cameron
Neal, a man of few words, but a man of many, many plays.
Well, as long as we're making Joey jokes here, I mean, he always says, let your cards do the talking, and it's what Cam really does. He is sort of a soft-spoken duelist with just an incredible competitive record, and this top four, no matter where he goes from here, is just another notch in the belt.
So there we see the Salamangreat Almirage using the Saji as material for that because it was normal summon this turn. Giving us access to a Link 1 that we can use our Yummy cards with. We're going to see the Cupsy Yummy come down from Cameron here, using the on summon effect to go ahead and search for some more Yummy cards.
We're also at the stage of the tournament where everybody probably knows about what everybody is playing, but we do see the Mulcharmy Fuwalos. I don't think that Timothy was expecting that to happen with the Salamangreat Almirage being immediately summoned off the Saji there. But from here, you know a monster's coming out of the extra deck, so it's good as time as any.
Yeah, Cam's now a little bit less priced into doing all the Link summoning and Synchro summoning shenanigans that Yummy is known for doing, but he can still probably summon and do some ritual shenanigans if he wishes.
Well, I figure at least it'd be safe to get like a Cupsy Yummy way, just because the advantage would kind of even out. Your opponent would draw a card, but you get two and then have to discard one, so it wouldn't feel too bad. But how far after that will he go, or will he go any further? Cam's still staring it down, hasn't done anything yet.
I mean, sometimes when this deck in full combo, you might be forcing your opponent to draw, I don't know, 6 different cards. I don't know if Cam wants to take that risk with how powerful some of the cards in Timothy's deck can be.
Looks like we're at least going to Link summon here into Yummy Snatchy. So that's one draw for Timothy off the top. Didn't get a look at what he added from his deck to his hand, though.
Okay.
Yep, when we see the Snatchy effect on summon, it looks like to go ahead and search for the field spell.
Now, throughout the tournament, we'd be seeing that the second Yummy Snatchy is usually the one that brings out the field spell. I wonder if Cameron's telegraphing, no, probably not going to go any further into the extra deck at this point.
That's a very good tell there from Cam.
Research surprise off that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we have the known surprise in Cameron's hand. Definitely going to be something that Timothy's going to be watching out for as he plays his own turn. Oh yeah, you can tell that these plays are both methodical and thought through as both players go ahead and, as Cam activates his minion here to bring back his Cupsy Yummy for the second time this turn.
Well, if I recall correctly, Cam was a competitor in the Master Duel tournament this year in the World Championship, and it's kind of untimed, but you still have the pressure of your teammates either winning or losing, sort of putting pressure on you to do well. This is kind of a nice duel environment for him. He just gets to play comfortably, untimed, think everything through, make the right decisions.
And he only has to worry about one game at a time versus 3 games at a time, where
That
he's
is true.
Coaching and talking with his teammates.
Now, it looks like we are going to at least get one more summon here, which means one more draw for Timothy. I imagine it's got to be Cupsy Yummy way at this point.
Yeah, just get access to more cards, you got to imagine.
And seeing, I believe, a Pot of Prosperity drawn there.
I think at this point, Cam is kind of priced in to keep going and just give away more draws maybe. He's hoping that his turn 1 board can fight through whatever potential interactions Timothy could draw into. Not sure.
Well, Mitsurugi also helps to even out card advantage, right? When you think about the Ame no Mono Kumo no Mitsurugi, that's going to take 1 card out of the hand, so that'll kind of even things out too. And being able to special summon it during your opponent's turn and use that Raigeki-like effect to clear out their monsters, that also feels good. So maybe Cam is just considering, yeah, you know what, I play in Master Duel all the time. Think about it, I have to deal with Max C. Letting my opponent draw is not that big of a deal.
Especially when I'm getting a lot of resources as a result as well. It's not like I'm just doing nothing to increase his hand size.
Right now? Surprise, prayers,
and Cupsy.
and Cupsy. Okay.
Always a good double check here of what is known and what is unknown, so that way you can know what to look out for as Timothy.
Still public knowledge here. We're going to set 2 cards, and we might have slowed things down and
There you
just
go.
made this a yummy field for
And
now.
move main.
And there we see Nibiru, the primal
Wow.
being, on the attempt to go to the end phase, it looks like. We're going to stay in main, and we're going to just go ahead and
I'll
tribute the
put it
field.
in attack.
And that is the, I believe that's the
right.
one from Rarity Collection 4.
Yes, quarter century, I want to say Stampede.
Yes.
It's just gorgeous, gorgeous alternate art, right? It's out of the rock, a little bit of an alien surprise in there.
Mm-hmm. That token, I believe, only has 1,200 defense and 1,200 attack.
Very tiny.
Yep.
All right, and we do see the pass from Cam as we enter the end phase.
So off to a slow start, respecting the Mulcharmy Fuwalo, so Timothy draws for turn.
We do have access to
Draw
surprise
phase.
still, I believe, but not the effect to get the bounce because we don't currently control any yummy monsters.
Now, kind of a weird drawback from using the Nibiru, the Primal Being, is all of a sudden the super polymerization just doesn't have as much utility, so maybe it ends up just getting set for next turn.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can always super poly the token away and the Nibiru if you really wanted to get an extra body on board.
Well, that's true, and it could help get a card to the graveyard, but we'll see how Timothy handles this as he starts off with Mitsurugi Prayers. Cam checks his face down. Looks like we
Oh,
are going to
okay.
flip something up. It's going to be
Summon.
yummy surprise.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the effect of Summon, I'd wager.
Would help to get the Cupsy Yummy wave back onto the
I
field.
think in response.
Also, it's worth noting that we're in the draw
no
phase, I
response.
believe, for Timothy. So that pot of extravagance you saw earlier in his hand still has a chance to be activated once we begin the main phase.
Oh yeah, Timothy has no slouch making it this far into the tournament.
So yep, we're going to go ahead and summon back the Cupsy Way here, which now kind of makes the super poly a bit more interesting, especially if we do use that tag out effect.
The 2 light beast monsters with different names. But we still got to figure out what we're doing with the prayers.
Well, we did tribute the Futsu for the cost to get the
Search.
additional
I'll take
sequence
the
effect
100.
of prayers here. So we're going to go ahead and
Just
add. But I don't think we're going to choose to summon anything because we don't really think I have any targets to do so. Oh, we can summon from hand. That's right. So we're going to do that with the prayers.
800 doesn't feel too bad in this
new chain?
situation.
Yep.
Chinling 1 Futsu to search. Chinling 2 Aramasa to search.
Yep, so we're going to search for a monster and search for a Mitsurugi
Okay.
card respectively. The Futsu just won't be able to summon itself back as it was not properly ritual summoned.
Well, somebody bumped the claw machine. Oh, the dominus
Ooh!
impulse, though, against the Cupsy Yummy Way.
And again, we're seeing the pure Mitsurugi players sequence pretty perfectly where they use their Nibiru and then afterwards they use their impulse so that way they don't get punished for turning off their light monster effects. This is something that the pure version of the deck gets to access that the yummy version of the deck does not.
You certainly wouldn't want to lock yourself out of light monsters if you were playing Yummy, but that is
Stand by
not
me.
the case for Timothy, so we enter the main phase.
If you're Timothy, I believe that set card would be
3 cards
unknown,
now?
but you gotta
4.
assume it's some
4.
kind of Mitsurugi or Yummy card, maybe something like Call by the Grave could be something you're playing around to. But yeah, beginning of the main phase here, we're gonna be activating this Pot of Extravagance, banishing
Start of main phase.
3 to 6. Yep, start of main phase. They were just being clear of like, oh, that was all during the draw phase. He's like, yeah, that was.
Players doing a great job communicating.
I'll do 6. So
And now
top
we're
six
going to go
fine.
ahead and top 6 are going to get banished here.
It's good.
And the effect is good. We're gonna be getting 2 more off the top here.
Timothy has just been getting all the card advantage his way, and Ash Blossom and Joyous
that's-
Spring and the Mitsurugi Mirror off the top.
That could allow us to access the Futsu that's in our graveyard because it can ritual summon from the graveyard like we saw earlier during today.
Ritual from hand.
Sure.
Ooh, but we already have the Murakumo in hand, so we're going to go ahead and send 2 names from the deck to the graveyard to try to summon this. This is a lot of value here for Timothy.
Just perfect. It shows you, because your deck doesn't clash with itself, you just get to play, again, pure Mitsurugi. Like, everything is working exactly as it was supposed to, because the deck is so fine-tuned not to trip over itself because of the alternating Yummy and Mitsu strategies.
Oh yeah, and you can just draw more cards of, and you can just include more copies of the cards that matter, like Mitsurugi Ritual. You have the room to play 3 copies of it.
So we've got the Saji and the Kusanagi tributed, hitting the
1.
graveyard there.
Saji. 2 Kusanagi target ritual spell.
Interestingly, not using the effect of Murakumo.
Wants to leave that monster in play, it looks like, for Cam, the token.
Well, it definitely helps if we haven't seen as much infinite impermanence this format, but just keeping a monster on their field means they can't activate any cards. Well, Charmies may come up if that card on the face-down field was chainable, but there's still a field spell, so not sure why. I guess maybe he just wanted to have something on the field to interrupt any interactions he might have.
Well, it could be like, oh, if you're going to summon a monster in play, leaving you with a monster means my Super Poly is a bit more valuable
That's
in case
true.
it's like a light or can line up with any monsters that are still in his extra deck.
And it can mess with some yummy fields just in case something happens here because, again, it's a rock monster. That is not a light beast.
Also, Steve, I don't want to shock you, but it's not like that's the only time he's going to summon Murakumo this turn.
That's fair. That's fair.
He can always do it later.
Well, I think we're about to see it again just now as Mitsurugi Ritual is going to Ritual Summon from the deck, tributing the Murakumo on the field, and let's see who we get out now. It's going to be a Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi.
Yep, that's the last of the big boys that we haven't been able to cycle through yet so far during this turn. And then
Murakumo, the search and special.
Yep, it's been tributed, so you're going to go ahead and search for the Great Purification, it looks like there, and then attempt a special summon from the graveyard.
You were right after all.
Well, he might not use the effect on summon either, but we'll find out together.
Attempt to enter battle.
Oh, just battle phase.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that token's only
token has
1,200. It doesn't
zero
really
attack,
affect the
right?
damage that much. Actually, it gets reduced by another 800 because of the Habakiri.
That's right.
12.
So we're going to attack 12 into the, I believe, 400 attack point monster and deal 800 damage.
A tiny token.
Could be wrong.
24.
That's a total of 32 potentially.
3,000.
52.
And then game.
Another 32.
Does he have anything to
the
respond with?
last one.
Oh, Mitsurugi prayers in response. Maybe trying to put a body on board before that final direct
That's
attack.
maybe.
Oh, but no. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring.
And there it is. Game 1 goes to Timothy off the back.
Decorated Duelist. Let's see how he does.
And we're starting off just like we did in Game 1 with a normal summon Saji.
And we're sure this is game 2.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a blast from the past, I'll say that much.
Definitely Groundhog Day, but as we look at our hand, I do see what appear to be a Molchami Fuwalos. So not necessarily all the useful cards in the world.
Activate.
Oh, speaking of Molchami Fuwalos.
I was about to say.
It's useful on the other side of the board.
I promise this isn't Game 1. Because I know for a fact it's not, because we didn't wait for him to summon Almirage this time.
That is true. That is
New
true.
chain.
Oh, it's
Oh,
definitely not Game 1. It's
wow.
Game 2, and that means 2 Molchami Fuwalos. Looks like we're going Chain Link 3 here on those Fuwas by activating the prayers here to just get that summon out of the deck, it looks like. Or I guess the add to hand, because we're not tributing here to get both effects.
This is a difficult situation to be in, and last time Cam was very conservative, not giving his opponent that many cards. Now, it's even harder to make this decision because even a single summon from the deck or extra deck would mean 2 cards apiece.
Right, but now he's kind of priced into maybe just making a bit more conservative with his turn, summoning monsters from the hand by using ritual spells like Mitsurugi Ritual. We could still tribute from the deck and not give away any draws, and that gives us access to Murakumo, and if you're Cam, 3-card hand versus a Murakumo, not too shabby.
Now, on the Molcharmi conversation, do you feel like it's time for Molcharmi Meows again? Summoning from the banishment, because you notice Mitsurugi decks are doing that, main decking some of the banishing cards.
But they also summon from the graveyard, too.
Yeah,
Works both ways.
Maybe Meows is going to make a comeback in future formats, or at least future tournaments in this format, but I guess we'll have to see. But for now, haven't seen any Meows stalking around, so this is safe.
I guess the real question would be, like, is playing 3 copies of each of the Molcharmis worth it in decks, either going first, second, or third? And is 6 enough, I guess?
It would be kind of crowded for sure. You would not want to start a duel and be like, hello, Molcharmi friends, I sure am going first, and this isn't helping.
Yeah, there definitely could be some room for, like, maybe some going second strategies to try and include more copies of Meows, but they were probably going to do that anyway.
Target 2.
Well, speaking of double trouble, looks like we are going to go ahead and use the Mitsurugi prayers here to grab even more advantage.
It could be Kusanagi is Chain Link 1 targeting prayers, and then Aramasa Chain 2 to search. Could be what's happening here
okay.
after being tributed from the deck. So that way we have access to prayers during Timothy's turn without playing into Fuwalos anymore.
Was it good?
Yep.
So far, so good here. Hasn't given away too many draws. We do see the super polymerization in Timothy's hand. So these two dark monsters that are reptiles could combine.
Draw.
We do see the pass there. Cam is not falling for the trap like he did in Game 1. He is not playing into Fuwalos and kind of doesn't have to. He has basically the full Mitsurugi end board here with this prayers and this Murakumo online.
So interesting, Cam confronted with 2 decisions, right? We all know that great Yu-Gi-Oh meme with the 2 different paths, and instead of deciding to give his opponent even more cards to establish a field, he actually decided to play even more conservatively than Game 1.
Standby meme.
Yep.
And now Timothy, instead of having a 7-card hand, only has a 4-card hand going into this turn.
Well, it's one of
Ooh.
those cards is Habakiri, so...
That's a pretty good one, I've heard.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be pretty important to see how Cam chooses to use his interactions. Now, while they may be layered, they are limited.
No
he
response.
basically has access to the Murakumo Negate, which he's going to use right now to force another card out of Timothy's already small hand. and then he has access to the prayers to kind of essentially cycle it back out and get the Regeki-like effect.
Is that dimension shifter we see at the top of the deck as he cycles through?
The one and only.
Mitsurugi banishment is certainly going around.
It just helps you line up into all these yummy and Draco Tail strategies that everyone's playing.
That's what happens when you get rid of your artifact Lancias.
So here we see the Saji's effect after being tributed after resolving the effect of Habakiri here to go ahead and get a ritual spell of his own, potentially.
Certainly down to the wire. Timothy has a lot of different ways he could go. You know, you're not really staring down too much crazy, and obviously the Mitsurugi ritual is very helpful there. It gives you a little bit of flexibility on what path you pick.
On res.
Ooh, on resolution of Saji, Droll, and Lockbird. This could be maybe not that big of a deal, actually, for Timothy, because he already has access to the ritual spell. Can summon. He just won't be able to get all the value that is generated as a result of resolving the ritual spell twice in one turn.
Well, I also believe I see a triple tactics talent there, so you're not going to be drawing any cards. So it does kind of slow this turn down. It doesn't completely shut him off, but the glass ceiling is going to really hold tough.
Yeah, because like whether or not you can actually play through the rest of Cam's interactions is kind of moot at this point, because if you can't win the game on this turn, Cam's follow-up is going to be insane.
Well, Timothy still won the first duel, so maybe this is the beginning of Cam's comeback.
But right now, he's focused on the here and now of what his turns is and what he's going to go from here. Wants to assess what's available to Cam / what he needs to maybe worry about.
This looks like he's considering his options. That triple tactics talent almost came out of the hand a couple of times. Maybe you're going to use the take.
Just to deny Cam the option of using his own prayers. That could be pretty interesting. But he can just chain to it and then bring it back.
Yeah,
it does. A new chain after take. Yeah.
Doesn't do a whole lot here, though. And you can see that Timothy is not sure which of the couple of cards he has that he wants to play next. But we are going to activate triple tactics talent.
And we're going to look at the hand, actually, and we see no real interaction from Cam here, just Cupsy, Habakiri, and Fua. Like I said, the follow-up is insane. But as of right now, the only interaction that Timothy needs to play around is this prayers to sort of cycle back that Murakumo.
So leaving him with the other cards in the hand and saying goodbye to the lone yummy monster there.
I mean, there is a world where we just go like Super Poly, discard the Habakiri, fuse off these two reptiles on Cam's board, activate Mitsurugi Ritual, and just like try to get damage on there. I'm not sure how much we could get, but it could be the best way to kind of break apart what Cam has available to him.
It would make for this wonderful sort of low-to-the-ground grind game, making the two of them top deck, but Yummy is a very explosive deck and really only does need 1 to 2 cards to get the party started.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tim chooses to play this turn here. Oh, I didn't even think about that, but like we can always prayers tribute the... Well, what monster did we return? We returned the Habakiri, right? Or did we return Cupsy?
No, we returned the Cupsy Yummy.
Okay, gotcha. So we're going to go ahead and ritual here from the hand the Habakiri by sending away the materials from the deck. Now, this might be tricky because we're not going to get that much advantage due to the Droll and Lockbird, but we can, of course, recycle this copy of Mitsurugi Ritual. This will then give us access to at least 2 bodies as we summon our own Murakumo. So what I could see Timothy doing here...
Back target ritual spell.
Sure.
Might just be using the ritual spell actually as a discard for super polymerization.
Well, what you could do is, because you can't... Oh, but you can't add with the effect of Habakiri, so that means he can't summon himself back either. Ooh, that's pretty rough to see.
Definitely a hard spot, but Timothy trying to do what he can to win on this duel, right? It's okay that you go to game 3, right, because you still have a chance, but wouldn't it be nice if you're a fan of Timothy for him to just close it out now?
Mm-hmm. Like, there might have been a world where it's better to shotgun the Super Poly and then save the Ritual, but without having the Tribute fodder, you actually won't be able to summon anything from the deck either, so it's probably not going to work out in Timothy's favor, unfortunately.
We're doing it.
True. I mean, this Ritual is kind of not really useful now, so you may as well just get rid of the interaction that Cam has access to, like I mentioned earlier, and then force him to play with the lone Habakiri. But unfortunately, Cam has not activated his once per duel effective Habakiri yet, so he has basically the full follow-up of Mitsurugi on top of everything else.
So just going to go for the extra battle damage here from the Garura. Of course, if you lose it, you do get to draw a card, and Timothy desperately needs cards.
Yep. I mean, this is 5,000 damage that we're representing, at least. But we do have access to the prayers, though, and the tribute fodder of the Habakiri in hand, so we're kind of not really at a loss for defense either on Cam's side.
perhaps maybe after this making an SP Little Knight in order to banish the face down card, but it's not face down anymore as we use Mitsurugi Prayers.
Yeah, because on resolution we can just go ahead and Murakuma summon it back, you know what I mean? By taking the 800 life points. We don't even need to tribute the Habakiri that's in hand to get the value out of that.
And you don't get to draw for Garura because of the Droll and Lockbird, so this is a rough situation as Timothy puts his hands together with nothing left on the hand and nothing left on the field.
No hand, no cards in hand, no cards on board. Unfortunately, Cam not falling for the Fua trick in game 2 is going to leave Timothy without really any resources at all.
So definitely heads up from Cam to sort of starve Timothy out of the duel. Just, I'm not giving you a single card. I will not play. And now it's Cam's turn as he draws. He's got 3 cards, but just having the Murakumo alone is a big threat.
Yep, he's just got to add up to 8,000 at this point. And with one Habakiri, that shouldn't be too difficult for him to do, but let's see what he has available to him.
It doesn't look like there'll be any yummy plays here. No normal summons of light beast monsters. And it appears that a Mulcharmy, I think, was his draw there.
No, he already had that one
that's
in
right,
hand.
he did have the Mulcharmy,
He returned the Cupsy. Yeah, his hand was already a Habakiri plus a Fua, and then whatever he drew for turn now.
And so that appeared to be a spell card.
Ooh, I mean, he's got nothing but good ones of those in this deck.
Yeah. All right, so Cam considering, not sure what to do. Still going to make a move. Yes, it's on time, but it doesn't mean you can hang out here.
Yes, that's right. You have to still keep the pace of play the same.
Pass. Interesting.
Does Cam do something we don't know?
Apparently. Didn't even try to attack.
No.
Stalemate.
I don't. Am I missing something? I don't think so. Let's see. We go into battle phase. What's in Timothy's graveyard? Just a bunch of. I believe it's just the Futsu's in there, but and the Murakumo's in there, and the Habakiri. No, just Habakiri's in there.
Passed again.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Well, maybe Cam is recognizing I don't have the damage, so we just got to keep going.
I guess if it was a snake, it would have bit me, as the phrase goes.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little perplexed here, but I mean, these guys are better than I'll ever be at this game, so I imagine they know something more than I do. We're going to set a card.
Interesting, passing again.
And wow, Timothy's drawing...
Oh, that's what it was. I forgot that one of the conditions of the Mitsurugi cards is that the ritual summon cannot attack.
Oh!
It just came to me, like in a dream.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so correct. And that must mean Can, because he lost access to Cupsy Yummy, is just unable to do anything here.
I'm sure somewhere in the chat they're screaming at us, but I remembered, chat. We found it out, so he is just having to stare it down. Big monster on the board, certainly helpful, but unable to attack directly. Nobody missed out on anything except us.
Right. Very interesting to see this then shake out, because Timothy was literally if you can believe it, 3 turns ago on 0 cards, and now has 3 cards. One of them is Fualos, so if Cam does start playing, he actually plays in that thing that kind of suffered him in game 1 a little bit too. So Timothy still has a good shout here if he can draw out of this sort of stalemate that they're in.
Yeah. Yep. Big monster, but pass turn again.
Yeah, I believe it's specifically the prayers that locks him out of attacking.
Yeah.
And that is how it was summoned. It wasn't summoned by its own effect.
So now Timothy in a really good position as he activates this Pot of Extravagance. I did see one of the other cards he drew is going to be that Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion as well. And so while the Amane Murakumo no Mitsurugi cannot attack because of the limitation of the Mitsurugi prayers there, still has to get through it.
Yeah, I'll chain.
But we're going to try to negate. You got extra cards, might as well. Oh. Okay, so he is going to go ahead and pitch the Mulcharmy for Wallace, drawing 2. Another Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, and looks like a Mitsurugi Ritual.
And we have a Futsu in hand. That's some good material right there. Okay, well, now Timothy has drawn a way to start playing, but the question is he safe enough to start playing? Because Cam has also been drawing cards, and you got to assume if he's not drawing Engine, he must be drawing non-Engine to interact with what these cards are.
Well, I will say the Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, having 2 copies of it, one for this turn and one for the next, that is going to keep Cam at bay.
Also, there was no draw on Lockbird on Resolution of Extract like there was on turn 2 for Timothy. So this is going to be really big here. Now the Ritual will be able to get all the value that it could have gotten him earlier on in the game.
To a degree, even though we had sort of a simplified game state, Cam just couldn't draw into something to get it going. And now Timothy may break this duel wide open. Big
shout out to Timothy for identifying that the scariest card in Cam's hand earlier in the duel was that copy of Cupsy Yummy.
Much different duel if we were seeing a bunch of light beasts at the field. But now we're in the main phase of Cam's turn.
Okay.
So there's a pre-prep of rights. It's going to be a lot of cards for Cam. You're going to be able to access the mirror, but we see Ghost Bell. We're going to go ahead and use the effect
I guess you gotta.
of Murugumo, and we're like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and discard the other Ghost Bell that's in my hand that I can't use anyway during this turn.
Don't get to stack it up, but that's a safe way to slow things down.
Talents take Futsu is huge.
Wow.
This now gives Cam access to a potential rank A play, a Link Summon play, all kinds of things.
I think the rank 8's the way to go. The crowd clapping their hands, cheering.
This has been quite the mirror match of Mitsu. And there we see the zombie vampire.
Uh-oh, it might be yummy time.
We're going to go ahead and detach our own copy of Murakumo, revealing Call by the Grave, pre-prep, Habakiri for Timothy.
Oh, there's the yummy. The crowd explodes over Marshmallow Yummy, and Timothy concedes immediately.
Let's make sure that
It's almost
Futsu
as
gets back
exciting
to
as
our
the
friend over there. It does.
Good,
Cam's
good.
not missing here. We'll advance to the finals of YCS Anaheim.
Nice show of respect there. We don't have a lot more Game 3s here, and unfortunately for one of these two duelists, this is the last Game 3 they'll see in this tournament.
Seeing quite the hand here from Timothy. I think I saw a hard open dimensional barrier, which would be a nice way to top off whatever else he's doing.
We'll start by setting that at pass.
Well, by that I meant I was assuming he was doing other stuff this turn, but just the set dimensional barrier pass.
Does have an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I did see a Mitsurugi Ritual, but no Ritual monster to summon out of the hand, so...
Lightning Storm. What do you call here? Do you call Synchro or do you call Ritual?
Oh, that's difficult, because whatever answer you pick, 50-50 shot, you're wrong.
slash, what are you more afraid of, I guess, is the correct answer.
Call. Ritual.
He's called Ritual. So no Mitsurugi combo cards if you're Cam Neal.
Well, Cam could proceed to full yummy combo with just one Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to protect Timothy. Let's see how this shakes out. It's not a double pass, is it?
I mean, it worked so well for Cam last time, you know, being patient and not overextending when you didn't need to. But he also might just have the cards. His hand could be a Mitsu hand and not access the yummy cards.
Folks at home, you can play more than one card in a turn. It's just these duelists have not, at least for this duel. Taking a look at the extra deck here, that says to me that we're going to see some yummy combos.
No, it says to me, he's like, could I even get there with this hand? Could I do something? Because in my mind, there it is. I was going to say the patience pays off. And we see a top deck of Mitsurugi Ritual for Timothy, but do we have any monsters in hand that we can use for fodder and tributes?
I don't think so. Just the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring so far.
I see a Magatama, I see a Thrust, so a lot of ways to respond, but Cam isn't doing anything. There's no way to activate these cards.
Wow, this is the fourth turn of the duel.
In what, 40 seconds?
Yes, in 40 seconds.
Speaking of Mitsurugi Ritual, here it is.
So that dimensional barrier critical to stop the opponent, but now it's time. The crowd clapping. Lots of woos there in the crowd as we see Amino Murakumo no Mitsurugi hit the field, and I think we're going to be tripping Saji and a friend.
Yep, unfortunately, Timothy is just kind of bricked here on cards that are responsive and not cards that are proactive.
This is a nail-biter because you don't see the action begin on turn 4. You see it begin on turn 1, maybe turn 2, but here we are at turn 4.
Sometimes turn 0.
Yeah, exactly. But, okay, so Kusanagi hitting the graveyard as well as... Could be the Aramasa?
Yeah, because I think I saw another copy of some Mitsurugi spells in Cameron's hand, so I think Timothy made the right call when he deburied for Ritual, but that only works for one turn, unfortunately.
132.
Just a pure guess there.
I think it was just like the more powerful thing, because the way this deck is built, you can use the Mitsus to bridge into the yummy cards with like gravity controller and whatnot. Or I should say enable the yummy cards, not bridge into them.
And it's not a deck design issue. Sometimes things just shake out this way when you shuffle up your cards and you draw 5. Timothy just has all the stuff you mandatorily need for a deck of his caliber, but kind of in the wrong order.
Yeah, he has like all the powerful enablers plus all the powerful, all the powerful extenders plus the really powerful like responsive tools, but none of the starters.
Deck.
Now we're going to go ahead and Mitsurugi Ritual again here.
This time summoning from the hand that Habakiri that we just grabbed.
And nothing really to do.
Also,
I guess you're going to use the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring now. Going to negate. I guess we'll pitch another card here. There's plenty of options.
plenty of green cards that don't have FX, really.
Might as well be blank, so we're going to pitch an extra Mitsurugi Ritual.
Well, not to Cam. He's like, oh, you're valuing those cards more than Ritual? Your hand must be pretty cool, besides the starter part.
The issue is, though, is that Timothy, again, is getting starved out of his cards. Even if he survives this turn, no matter what he plays, at some point, Murakumo could just say, nah, I need one more card, please, and it's going to whittle down Timothy's options bit by bit.
I mean, I did see a Prayers in Cameron's hand, so we're going to summon some more monsters this turn. It's just a question of does he get lucky enough off his Vampire to bridge into the Yummy cards, I guess.
Ooh,
that could be, because that will definitely represent enough damage to win the game this turn.
We always talk about how Yummy kind of has that vibe of a claw machine. And
Yeah.
when you get, Zombie Vampire out there, it is the kind of same thing. You're just trying to hope to get the prize, and you'll see what happens.
Sure.
Goodness. All right, so it seems like the Aramasa is going to hit the field here. We are going to go ahead and use the effect there.
All right, this is going to be super awesome to see here what other monsters he's going to try to summon to add up to the 8,000 points of damage he's going to need.
Cam picking the deck back up, and it looks like we're going to grab the Mitsurugi Mirror.
That will allow us to try to summon the Habakiri once again if we have the material or tribute for it.
So activate Mirror there. Going to go ahead and tribute the Murakumo from the field. And just put a little bit more power there. Again, reprise performance there, showing back up from the graveyard. Murakumo back alongside Habakiri now. And we're getting pretty close to 8,000.
Yeah, I think we only need, like, what, about 2K more damage, I think, because we have at least 56 with the 2 rituals, and then I think at least 12 to 18 with the Aramasa.
Another big monster would do it.
Get it up, Purse.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, the really decisive moment is, do you try to go for the Zombie Vampire to just make this duel explosive, or do you consistently just use the cards you have on the field?
But if you're Cam, you still got to be wondering, well, what is Timothy's hand? Is it cards like Nibiru? Is it cards like this and that I gotta keep playing around? Or am I truly safe to go for game? Because as far as he knows, it could be just a bunch of non-engine that could actually stop him from going for these more extensive plays.
He's making the decision. Zombie Vampire comes out.
All right.
And that means not only is he going to have a chance to get those Yummy monsters to the graveyard and revive one to make an explosive combo, but he can also link it off for Gravity Controller.
There's a Cupsy!
There's the Cupsy!
That'll do it. That'll give him full access to his Yummy cards.
That's destiny right there, just the Cupsy by itself. Cupsy Yummy's effect activates. Let's go ahead and grab another Yummy card out of the deck. We're going to get Yummy Surprise.
All right, so now if you're Cam, you're not. I think you're a little less worried of there being any more non-engine because you can probably play through it. Now it's just about counting up damage, I think. There we see that Gravity Controller as the bridge I was talking about to help you enable the Yummy cards.
And I believe usually we see Cupsy Yummy Way here.
Yep, just access more and more Yummy cards here.
Perfect parfait for the perfect occasion here. So we pull out 2 cards and then discard 1. Looks like it's going to be Lollipop Yummy and Cookie Yummy.
Yep, the OGs from Justice Hunters themselves. The adorable mercenaries that I call them because they are here to do one job, and that is win the game.
Oof. You say OGs, but didn't they come out just a few months ago?
Hey, don't let their cuteness fool you. They are deceptively strong.
So, speaking of deceptively strong, we do see the tiniest Link monster in the world, right? Yummy Snatchy.
It's not going to be so tiny after this minion comes down, giving you 500 attack points for each of your light beasts.
So that's 1 boost right there. Some duelists, invigorated by the Genesis format, turning into our broadcast for the first time, be like, why did you trade the big monsters in for the small monsters? Let the man cook.
Those blue cards are pretty strong.
But these bluer cards are even stronger.
Alrighty, and there we see the Lollipop Yummy going to be able to access a lot more monsters with this card here. Looks like we're going to try to get back the Cupsy Yummy way. And the Snatchy? No, the other Cupsy Yummy.
I say let the man cook, but you probably wouldn't want to cook a parfait.
No. That would be just too burnt.
Melt some candy, burn some cookies.
Oh, that is okay. So I believe all of these. Oh, and there it is!
That's it. Wow, what an incredible comeback.
Just for those that are wondering.